Hello, and welcome to another Monday's live stream. I'm Bex from Social Media Executive, and I train businesses how to effectively use social media to generate more leads. So today I'm going to be talking about 6 top tips to help you transform your LinkedIn profile. This is transforming your profile so that you will attract potential new clients and new business inquiries. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some of my 6 top tips. If you are watching on YouTube, please do give us a like and subscribe to my channel for regular advice and tips on social media. Okay. As always, if you're watching, please do join the chat. Introduce yourselves. Even if you're watching on catch up, please introduce yourselves in the comments. Tell us what you do, promote your business, say hello. And if you've got any questions as we go along or want to share your input, then please do put it into the chat. I'd love to say hello to everybody. And even if you're watching on catch up, I'll say hello afterwards as well. So if you've got any questions, I'll come back to them later. Okay, right then. So 6 top tips then with regards to your LinkedIn profile. Now, when you're thinking about your LinkedIn profile, you've got to really think about your audience. Okay. Oh, hi, Joanne. Hello. Thanks for joining us today. Your LinkedIn profile is completely different if you're looking for a job or if you're looking for new business. Oh, hi, Andy. Hello. Thanks for saying hello. So again, really do have a think about what's your profile there for. Because if you're looking for a job, it's going to be completely different to if you are looking for new business. Okay. Hi, Gary. Thank you. Thanks everyone for saying hello today. It's nice to see you all. Hello. Right. So the first thing we need to think about is you go onto your LinkedIn profile, have a look at it now. Have a look at it. And does it shout, this is me, this is Bex, this is how fabulous I am, this is all the experience I've got? Or does it shout, hi, this is me, this is Bex, this is how I can solve a certain problem for my customer? Okay. When we're looking at LinkedIn, you really need to change your profile to talk to your customer, not to tell the world how fantastic you are and what brilliant qualifications you've got. Obviously, you need to be on there, but that's not the main purpose of your LinkedIn profile. This LinkedIn profile is there to talk to your ideal client and tell them how you can help them. How can you solve their problems? How can you make their lives easier? Very, very simply. So I'm just going to go through 6 main tips that you always need to consider when looking at your profile. Okay. And the first one is quite an obvious one, actually. It's your profile picture. Okay. Your profile picture is so important. And I know I work with Andrew Collier and Tony Longmore, who are photographers, and they really understand this principle because having a really good profile picture is really important. It needs to be you looking straight into the camera. So you need to look straight into the camera, picture of you, but it needs to be a recognizable picture of you. Okay, it needs to be smiling. Potentially your shoulders facing into your profile as well, or square on, because if you turn your shoulders away from your profile, it looks like you're not interested. Again, this is just a marketing technique. You'll see it in magazines, newspapers, all photos, they all face into the text, into the newspaper or the magazine you're reading. So you need to be facing in so that you're interested in your own profile. Okay. So really have a think about that. You also think about the way you're coming across. Is it friendly? Is it professional? Informal? Things like that. How do you want to be portrayed? Because the first thing people are going to do when they look at your profile is they're going to look at your photo. And are they going to trust you? Okay. Are they going to want to pick up that phone and go, oh, Bex looks quite friendly, I'll pick up this phone? Or are they going to go, oh, I'm not really sure what that person looks like. She's got sunglasses on, can't see her face. She's looking over there. It's quite an arty one. I saw one which was really quite amusing. One very attractive lady, her profile picture was her sprawled in a bikini over a car. And again, that's not the right image, not for LinkedIn, really, unless she's looking for a certain type of business. Okay. And again, I've seen ones in the background where it's been, you know, holding bikes over the heads and you can't see the details. And the reason why your profile picture is so important, I'll tell you a little example. So before we went into lockdown back in February 2020, I think it was, I walked into a networking meeting at Manchester Airport, and someone came up to me and started chatting away to me, told me quite a few personal details, chatting away. And I was thinking, crikey, who is this person? I've never met her. And she stopped midway and went, oh, crikey, Bex, you don't actually know me, do you? It's just that I've seen you on LinkedIn and I just recognised you and just assumed I knew you. So that's the beauty about having a recognisable profile picture. So that's the first tip. Make sure it's a good profile picture. You don't have to spend any money, just on a black white background is absolutely fine. Just use your phone. Phones are pretty good these days. But if you can, get a professional one done. Okay? So do have a think about that. So the second one, and this is a brilliant one because this is one that people always forget. So you've got your profile picture, but people then ignore the banner image. That's the banner image at the back, the long image that sits behind your profile picture. People forget about this. Lots of people don't use it, or some people just put a nice image on. This is brilliant advertising space. Yeah? Really good advertising space. You can change this on a number of occasions if you've got different services you want to offer or different events coming up. You can change these at different times so that you've got, as soon as people look on your profile, you're advertising to them straight away, this is what it is. And it's free. You know, we all look at paying for advertising and things like that. Then we forget about some of the free things we've got. If you've got a lot of people jumping onto your profile, then that's a free banner that you can advertise to them. And also, when they come on to your profile, are they immediately told exactly what you do and how you can help? Again, you can put that in your banner, some little bullet points about what services you offer. Okay, so use that banner wisely. Okay, so don't forget to use that banner. So the third top tip then, the third top tip is the little headline that sits under your name. Okay, so obviously your name should be in there, and I put my nickname in there as well, Bex, because it's short for Rebecca. So I put both those in there because a lot of people will search for Bex rather than Rebecca. So make sure your name's right. But the next important thing is that headline underneath this. And time again, I see on LinkedIn, MD of technicalservices.co.uk. Okay, so who is that? What is that? How can that person help me? Okay, we don't know. Not actually. If I'm looking for, I don't know, some web technology, say if I was looking for a new internet provider, who was doing a new server or something like that, then I need to know that that person is the right person to solve that problem for me. If I go onto someone's profile and just goes MD and then has the company name, the name doesn't relate to the services they provide, then how do I know they can help me? I'm probably just going to go, oh, it's not even going to occur to me that they can solve my problem for me. Okay, because I don't really know what they do at this point. So use your headline wisely. Talk about how you can potentially help. What problems can you solve? Think about what sort of ways that you can help your customer. Okay. So now, as soon as we jump onto your profile, you've got a welcoming picture that's really smiling, looking straight into the camera, recognize you, you're building trust straight away through that image. The banner is advertising, maybe summarizing what you do, what's coming up, some exciting new products and services you've got. And then you've got a headline summarizing some of the services you can offer that can solve certain problems, okay, that your potential customers may have. So really think about that headline. Now, there's another reason why that headline is so important. Because when you write a post on LinkedIn or when you comment on a post on LinkedIn, that headline, not only it says your name, but it shows you the first piece of your headline as well. So again, it's fantastic marketing strapline. We are looking at our LinkedIn profiles like a marketing strapline, okay? So really think about, does my LinkedIn profile speak to my customer? Think about your website. Does it look the same? Okay. So basically, the fourth top tip is we're not writing our profile as a CV. Okay. We're not looking for a job anymore. We're completely changing the strategy. We're writing it to talk to our potential customers about how we can solve some of their problems, how we can make their lives easier, how we've got these fantastic products and services that are going to transform their businesses. We're talking about that. I'm not talking about, here's me, Bex, I've got a degree in applied ecology, because you're not interested in that as a social media trainer. That's totally irrelevant to you. You know, I'm not going to tell you, you know, how, you know, my background, I'm an environmental consultant. I've worked for, you know, 10 years in the public sector. I've worked for 8 years in the voluntary sector. You know, I've worked for a video games company in the private sector. That's really not relevant to you. All you want to know today is some LinkedIn tips that are going to help you improve your profile. You're not interested that I'm a director of my company. You're just interested that I'm a trainer and I'm going to help you with some of your social media issues that you've got. Okay, so really pull back from this is me, these are my credentials, this is what I'm experienced at. People really aren't that bothered. People are busy. They've got businesses to run. They're really busy. They just need to go on and go, right, how can you help me? Brilliant. Sounds great. I'll give you a ring. Okay. Don't need all the fluff around it. Okay. So really keep it simple, to the point. How exactly are you going to solve all these problems? Make your ideal customer's life easier. So don't write it like a CV. This goes for, you've got a big about section, your experience. Experience can be full of information about case studies that you've helped other clients, what problems you've solved. Okay. So my fifth top tip then is recommendations. Okay. So at the end of our LinkedIn profiles, we've got recommendations. So please don't ignore these. These are really important. Oh, Paul said, true, no one's asked for my A-level grades in my last 12 years of freelancing. Yeah, so there, thanks, Paul. Exactly. Nobody's interested in what qualifications you've got. They're just interested in how fantastic you are at your job. And this links really nicely to recommendations, because if you've got some recommendations, if someone's written you recommendations, clients, etc., then if people are looking down and looking at your profile, not only will they scroll down and see these glowing recommendations, but also those glowing recommendations are in the public domain. You don't need to be connected to anyone. Anyone can see your recommendations on LinkedIn. So if you've got great recommendations, they're there, they're just propping it up to say, yes, this is brilliant. Bex is a great trainer. She can do this, she can do that. She's got some really good recommendations from her clients. So again, do ask clients who you've done a great service for, do ask them for recommendations, okay? And use that. Once the recommendation is on your LinkedIn profile, it's in the public domain, so you can actually then use that in your marketing material. You can put it on your website, you can create them as posts, you can talk about them in your emails, you know, you can shout about them. It's a public recommendation, okay? So Joanne's just said, same when using LinkedIn to look for jobs. Absolutely, Joanna. If you are looking for a job, it's essential to put recommendations in there from previous employers. Yeah. So again, if you're looking for a job, collect your recommendations. And if you've never thought of asking for a recommendation from a previous employer, then have a look at your profile, because if you scroll down, you can ask people for recommendation through LinkedIn, and it'll say, can you give me a recommendation? And they'll select your job title, all the different jobs that you've had. As long as they're listed on your LinkedIn. So for example, I could go back to Groundwork and say, go back to my bosses at Groundwork and just say, oh, hi, could you write me a recommendation, please, for when I worked at Groundwork? You know, so you can go back in time and ask people for recommendations. So Joanna's asked, what if previous jobs are in a completely different area? Yeah, and that's a really good point. The thing is what I tend to do, when I first joined at Launch Social Media Executive, I actually went back in time and asked, because I was trying to build my profile, asked for some recommendations from previous employers, just because I was new to business. And I got those first, okay? Put those first on my profile, and then I started then collecting more recent relevant ones from clients, okay? But you want your older ones to be really at the bottom. Unfortunately, you can't reorder your recommendations. So you want your older ones. Start with your older ones first, as previous employees, and then go to clients, etc., for recent ones. Okay. So yes, don't ignore those recommendations. They are absolutely brilliant because you can use them everywhere. Okay, and don't be shy. We're all sometimes a bit too British about asking for recommendations. We're like, oh, I don't know if I should bigging myself up, but really, don't be shy. Ask them. I had some really good advice when I first started out in business, and it was collect those no's. So you know, if you're going out there and you're asking for business, people will say no. But it's about how, for all the no's that you do collect, someone will say yes. And it's the same for recommendations. You know, not everyone is going to give you a recommendation, but if you don't ask, people don't think to give you one. Okay. And leave other people recommendations as well. If they've done you a good service, you know, do leave them a recommendation on their LinkedIn profiles as well. So my final comment then, and the biggest tip really that I can give you, my 6th top tip is simply keywords. Okay. And what do I mean by keywords? Well, in marketing terms, we call it SEO, search engine optimization. But in basic terms, in layman's terms, it means putting the right keywords into your profile so that you're found on LinkedIn. So if any of you have ever done a bit of work on your website, if you have your own website, you know you have to put keywords in the right place. Okay. So Gary, for example, he's an estate agent. He will, you know, and a lettings agent. So on his website, he knows he's got to put letting agents all over it, and probably with, you know, Warrington, okay, in his website. But the same goes for your LinkedIn profile, because in LinkedIn there's massive searches. It's a massive search engine in its own right. So if you're going to get found, you've got to make sure you've got those keywords flitted throughout your LinkedIn profile, okay, so that you are found. You can put your keywords on images you upload. You can put your keywords in your headline, in your about section, in your experience section. Put them everywhere and repeat them throughout your profile. So, example for me, I put social media trainer, social media consultant. If you look through my profile, it's everywhere. So that if anyone on LinkedIn then searches for a social media trainer, I'm going to be ranking high in the searches because I mentioned it all throughout. Remember, LinkedIn is a big automated robot. It doesn't necessarily know what you do unless you actually tell it. Okay, so you've got to tell it by using specific keywords for where you want to be found. Okay, so those are my 6 top tips for sorting out your LinkedIn profile. Okay, but, and there's a big but, now you've sorted your profile out, you need to think about your strategy, because just creating a fantastic profile on LinkedIn is not going to get you business. Okay, you are not necessarily going to rank high in the searches just because you've got a great profile with loads of keywords. Unfortunately, there is loads more you need to do for your profile. Things like an engagement strategy, a content strategy. What type of content do you need to post? How do you post it? When do you post it? How do you structure your posts? Do you share posts or not? How do you use the search tools to find your ideal client and connect with the right people so the right people find your profile in the first place? Okay. How do you reach out to people and connect with people? And what should you do on LinkedIn and what shouldn't you do? So the first big step is getting your profile right. And then we need to go out and start engaging and connecting with people. Okay. Now, we're not going to cover that today, but if you do need help with that, I've got an online workshop coming up on the 22nd of June this month. It's online. We do an hour a day over 4 days. And I basically talk you through transforming your profile, implementing a strategy, going through what content you need to create, how to rank high on LinkedIn so that you don't necessarily need to chase business, so that business inquiries come naturally into your inbox. Okay. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it. It's how I've built my business over the last 3 years. 3 years, can't believe I'm 3 years old this month. There are just 7 places left because I do limit this to 10 people. So I'm going to I'll just post the link in here. So if you are interested, please do book early on this one because it does get booked up. So 22nd of June, it's all online and it's on Zoom and it's limited to 10 people and I've got 7 places left. So do have a look on Eventbrite for that. And again, I'll put the link in the chat after this. So those are my 6 top tips. In summary, 6 top tips to transform your LinkedIn profile. Think about your picture, your banner image, your headline. Don't write it like a CV. Think about collecting some of those recommendations and also put those keywords throughout your profile. I hope you found it useful. If you have, please do give us a thumbs up, give us a like. And if you're watching on YouTube, please do subscribe to my channel where I go live every Monday at 12:30. And thank you everybody today for saying hello. It's been really nice. And if you've got watching on catch up and have any questions, please do put them in the chat, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, and I will get back to you and respond to any questions you might have. So thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you next week at 12:30. Thanks guys. Bye.